This conference will now be recorded.
We will just look into the stakeholder management today from business analyst point of view, right? I'll just paste you in the chat, just like two links, okay? You can just go through it. So the first link is from the IBA, right? IABA, right?
Okay.
IAB is nothing but it is the international, it is more of a, it's like CBAP, International Institute of Business Analysis. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
International Institute of Business Analysis is the organizations, more of an organization that has been set up by this particular part, right? IBA itself. Okay,
Okay.
it's an organization where it has been set up from 2003. When you say
Mm-hmm.
business analysis, everybody comes here to IBA.
Okay.
There are two certifications, right? Two to three certification in there for that matter, where it starts with ECBA, CCBA, and CBAP.
Mm-hmm.
While CBAP is the highest achievable certification, ECBA is the like foundation or the fundamental certification which they provide as such,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can
Okay.
you can go through IBA's, what is what about it, which is available, of course. And
Okay.
yeah, CBAP is the highest ones when I say Certified Business Analysis Professional, while
Mm-hmm.
below that is CCBA, competency in certification of competency in business analysis.
Okay.
Right? And the entry level is entry certifications in business analysis is ECBA.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in yeah, so why do I need to start with stakeholders? That if you're a developer or admin, you will break your head in ensuring that system is functioning or system is repaired or system is accommodated as per the requirements. Okay, but being a business analysis, um yeah, so how do you handle different things? Point number one, in that, very primary thing is on the stakeholder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, you need to know about the functionality of overall service now, from an admin and also foundation perspective. But you are accountable, much more on accountable what you say, what you commit to customer. For that, you need to understand the functionality.
Okay.
There are two reason why you are learning foundations and admin is
Mm-hmm.
that you are accountable to the customer, so you're giving a word to the customer that yes, it is doable, not doable, it is, can be done this way, that way. You're committing to the customer, isn't it?
Yeah.
In what will customer expect is that, yes, you being a business analyst, you know in and out of service now. That's their presumption of what you are as a business analyst when you say you are a service now BA for, and you are working on that particular roles in R&R.
Okay.
And similarly, you actually judge or you actually understand what development team is doing, because somebody will say that just like what we did yesterday, I mean last time, right? Let's take an example of, you know adding a new language, and or creating the data lookup, isn't it?
Yeah.
They may say it
Notification.
will take, yeah, sorry.
Nothing. Notifications outbox. That's all we look.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So notifications for each thing, they will say it will take 1 week.
Oh, okay.
Now, now, if you don't know service now really, you will accept it. You will say okay to that.
Okay.
But now, having known all these things now, will you not challenge them,
Yeah.
right? It's a matter of
Yes.
wasting the time, isn't it? So now that's why you need the functional understanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, that's on the functional, and how do we understand to the from a customer perspective, how do we interact, as well as on the you know development perspective or the exact team, agile team, how do you interact with them, and how do you
Okay.
position in understanding the developers understanding and all those things. Okay, so for
Mm-hmm.
that, we are learning foundations and service now from a, like a base level, what is what, and that's what we are doing so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yes, now a very primary responsibility that you have. So far what I was saying is in the accountability part, although you are responsible to carry forward the team to in delivering this, right? Ensuring that there is no gap between both the parties, right?
Yeah.
So as a BA, a pretty much responsibility is that carrying things in your shoulder in managing the stakeholders.
Okay.
People would say that, understanding requirements, right?
Yeah.
Yes, requirements gathering is part of business analyst, but I would say that how you are able to manage the stakeholders, downstream and upstream stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say downstream, you obviously know who's that.
Okay.
Who's that?
Sorry.
It is the when I say downstream, you obviously know who should be that particular downstream team, who all consist of the downstream team.
The developers and all.
Exactly. Developers, tester, the team, agile team itself.
Yeah.
When you say upstream,
Client side.
exactly, customer or
Yeah.
someone
Customer.
who's from a UAD perspective, yeah, UAD perspective, the business or stakeholder from a functional, what is it? Who's on the other side of it, right? Other side of our service delivering
Yeah.
partners, right? Partners, or even the testers. I mean, test users they call it as, right?
Mm,
Or super users. Sometimes they call it a super user, test users who will be doing the UAT part of it, and basically the counterpart, right? Counterpart and dependent dependent stakeholders, other dependent stakeholders, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those are the stakeholders uh, in this case. But all of a sudden in any given project there could be some other department who will come also stakeholders. So reasonably these are the stakeholders, but it is not restricted. If any new team members wanted to join you, saying that no, I need to understand what is what, is also stakeholder from customer perspective, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So there is no restriction, but then generally these are the uh, to be having stakeholders. We need to have these stakeholders. If you ask me, these are stakeholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
that thing you should be very much solid enough to understand. Okay, these are the stakeholders,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So so if you let's go to the second link I gave you, right? Let's go to second link. So if you
Mm.
scroll down, the golden rules will say, right,
Yeah.
of stakeholder engagement in business analysis. If you scroll
Yeah.
down, you see that particular circle kind of thing. It says external stakeholders. Yeah, I have missed it. See, I have missed it. External stakeholders, right?
Okay.
If you see the diagram, if you open the diagram in separate window, right, you will just speak about it itself, right? You'll see that all this within the circle is internal stakeholders. So what do I mean by, so you have an fair understanding of external to internal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what from our perspective, or even from from as a service, see, you know that we are a service provider, you know that for sure.
Yeah.
For a customer, we are the service provider. You beat in any customer, we are the service provider. Even though if you are in the same company, right, you are the internal service provider. So company, within the company itself, you are a separate department delivering the services, right? Which means that
Yeah.
you are a what is it? You are a service provider from within the company itself, from a different department. So department to department, we have client. From one department, the other, if you're serving the other department, it's a you have them as a client, and you need to service them as a service provider,
Okay.
right? There are structures like that.
Okay.
Because whenever you see that in a company, IT team will be factoring requirements from larger business units, and then they'll fulfill it, right? How do they fulfill it? Yes, they may have some consulting, an outsourced consulting team, like let's say Infi, HP, or Ernst Young, Deloitte, whoever it is,
Okay.
right? And they are delivering it. That IT team is delivering it to the internal business units or the customers, users, from the consulting outsourced consulting partners, such as let's say, as I said, Infi or Wipro or even Cognizant or anybody else for that matter.
Okay.
Right. So that is how, um, um, honestly speaking, in real time it happens. I've given you the real time scenario, how it really happens, what really happens. Now,
Okay.
coming on to this picture, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so when we say internal stakeholders, so you have a project, okay?
Yeah.
The project team have agreed to come up with the enhancement or a new requirement, or they have agreed to do certain activity, okay? So in this
Okay.
context, right, they in this context, who do you have the stakeholders is that project team, okay, project manager,
Mhm.
project coordinator, and whichever team, whichever role that is playing within the project management activities, and project sponsor, who's sponsoring for the project. Now you need to always understand this sponsor, okay. The project sponsor plays a significant role.
Okay.
So
Who
what
is,
significant? Yeah.
yeah, who is that project sponsor?
So E is someone who ensures that the project is provided with the good amount of resources and support to the project. He approves the project.
Oh, okay.
Basically, he is the one who's approving the project, ensuring that, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
understanding the risk, scope, outer scope, how many resources required, when it's going to be delivered, and what is the milestones. So, what usually happens is that, you know, before a project starts, the POC is being done, proof of concept is being done,
Yeah.
ensuring that how this particular project will pan out, and what is, if it is really technically feasible or not, and if it is viable, what is the timelines that it will take, right? And what is the exact scope? Basically, you'll do a business case about the project,
Okay.
or a project charter is designed by the project manager in understanding what needs to be done, what needs to be done, how things has to be done. So whatever I told you, like imagine, like, okay, you, if you want to do a project, what will you do? You will understand what is your scope and what is not scope, and you will put what are all the milestones. This is the first milestone, second milestone, third milestone, fourth milestone, and done, project done, okay.
Okay.
And how many resources are required, you will estimate,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how much time will it be completed, you will also anticipate, and you will also give a clear cut project planning.
Okay.
And yeah, what all will be done on each phases is what has been split across as milestones,
Okay.
okay. And as I told, which all resources will be doing it, and what all will be done, when it will be completed, when it will be started, when it will be completed, okay. What is the scope, what you will do and what you will not do, what is the objective of this particular project, okay. How do
Mm-hmm.
you propose it as a technical proposal, what do you propose, like architecture part of it, whatever, how do you, what is the flow, high level flow,
Okay.
is there, what are the dependencies, what are the risks, what are the yes, these all will also be highlighted at the forefront at the beginning of the project itself.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, it has been it will be discussed in the project management, like steering committee or any, which with the project sponsor, right? We are actually basically we are trying to sell our project to gain the amount for future months, how to spend it.
Okay.
You got my point, right?
Yeah.
We are actually requesting for the corresponding point of contact to approve it, so that the amount can be dispersed from finance team to spend on this particular project for the initiative.
Okay.
So that is the overall plan, okay. Where from there is what you're seeing, like project manager will ensure that all these things are done, and then project sponsor will team will come, will approve it, okay. And project owner is another role, right, who will own the project, okay. So basically project manager or whoever it is. Okay. And
Oh.
we have department impacted by the projects and end users. Which department is impacted by the projects? That department, because they are the stakeholders, right? They are going to be interacted, right? They, they
Mhm.
they are the ones who is benefited out of this particular project, right? And the end users as such. Who are all the end users, right? These are the end users one, two, three,
Okay.
who will be benefiting out of this particular project. So, so here, if you see that, yes, we can also add agile team. Agile team is the internal stakeholders. When I say agile team, it comprises of development team, technical lead, tester, lead tester if required, and if any security team or anything else that can be added.
Okay.
It's a
And
package.
what
Internal
are
stakeholders or
the,
package.
yeah, departments impacted by the project means what is that?
They are the they are the stakeholders. When I say stakeholders, so whichever department, right? Let's say you are going to implement it on HR.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let's say you're going to implement it in the department of IT. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that
Okay.
stakeholders will be informed of what is
Mm-hmm. Okay.
coming, right? What is going to be changed? What is the new service that's going to do, right? So they will also have their inputs in the call saying that no, I should do have it like this. No, don't do this way. They'll
Okay.
also ask, speak about it, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now coming to external stakeholders, if there is another like ServiceNow, if there is Remedy or some other vendor, okay, you will liaise with them. You will communicate with them. You will ensure that you are having a transparent communication with them, right? So those are external stakeholders who are not within our boundary of internal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course the customers. So different customers and so you can, yeah, suppliers, right? Other than that, regulators and all you can leave, shareholders and all leave, government also can leave. But I mean, this from a very high level they have given, right? Where certain areas you will have all this other team members also.
Okay.
So that is stakeholders on that matter, right? So when you need to engage them, okay, what is the process of engaging, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
see it in the other IBA link, right? When you can engage them in an elicitation collaboration. So when, as I said, when your project has been confirmed and it has been active, right? You directly go and start to the project with which is given to you from a very high level requirements. Okay, you need to break it down. You need to actually discuss about it. Okay, imagine like they are giving you some plan. Okay, how to build a home, and you have to take the ownership in. They've just given you a map and they have just given a land to you. So you need to
Okay.
make use of your own subordinates or whoever is there to as a builder. You need to ensure that this building is built and hand over properly.
Okay.
You know the point. They'll give
Yeah. Yeah.
they'll give a piece of land. They'll give the map how to do it, and you're the owner to build that particular house with the people
Yeah.
that you have.
Yeah.
It is as simple as it is. So that's why if you see that, so
Mm.
the during preparation, preparing for elicitation in the other link, right? IBA link. So
Mm.
what you need to do before conducting elicitation, BA always
Mm-hmm.
need to interact with the corresponding or respective stakeholders. Respective to stakeholders.
Yeah.
Uh, not, I mean, that's what identifying right stakeholders at the initial stage is the very, very important thing,
Yeah.
right? And then preparing them, honestly speaking, preparing them, right? You as a business analyst, you need to prepare them, ensure that this is what you are doing, and you cannot tell them in the rude way, but then you can tell them in the procedural perspective
Okay.
or a process perspective, saying that this is what is the project, this is the timelines, and this is why we are going to start. This is how we have our team aligned, and kickstart it, and we need your support.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
usually, right, this is your task, this is your activity, right? Of course,
Yeah.
other the stakeholders, they may not take it seriously and they will not prioritize the requirements. They will not give appropriate information down first day, from starting first day.
Yeah.
So you need to understand how to engage them. So these are all the um, soft skills. These are the very much required soft skill that we need to adopt, we need to accept. Somewhere we would have saw, right? So in see, business analysis altogether is more of an life activities that we have taken across in our own home, right? Such
Yeah.
as, if it is for you, you will be on full swing. Nobody will take their nobody will be completely working for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's as exactly as the same here. So how do you want to engage them? It's up to you to how do you want to manage them.
Okay.
Yes, yes, we can facilitate calls, we can facilitate meetings, we can ensure that they are joining, we can sell our product, we give importance to our product, and we explain them what is what we need to do. So we need to do our homework, basically.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, if I can say that, we need to be clear in what is required.
Okay.
So once a project starts, BA's activities very quickly understand what is required. That is the first step in ensuring that the success of BA.
Yeah.
Right? You understand the stakeholders, yes. You speak with the right stakeholders, yes. That's fine, right? But as quickly as possible, if you're able to understand the context of what is the requirement altogether, right, the success starts there itself, because you know what to do, and you are the
Mm.
right person to elicitate to the developers of what to do. So which means that, so if you know what to do, you know where to get, I mean, you will speak out, where should I get this, where is the risk, what am I having, why it is not clear. You will get the clarity. When you're able to get the clarity at the initial stage of what is the project, that is the start of successful building. Because even though only one person you know about it, but if you know clearly about what is required, then it will be very easy that you can demonstrate the required things to developer, and then you can communicate to the customer. Even though there is bottlenecks, you'll be able to understand where that bottlenecks, and you'll be able to inform the customer that if this is where I have the bottlenecks, I
Mm-hmm.
know how to deal with this, but I am facing issues with this team. Developer instance is not being given access. We are having issues with the access. The team is not giving the access. It's so and so reason they are not giving the access. We need your approval. So you're strong enough to tell this. Got my point, right?
Yeah.
So that is the point, right? The first thing is that, and then while you're while you're in elicitation, nothing but a requirement elicitation, right? You basically, as I told you, right, gather all the preliminary information, or prerequisite they call it as. What is
Mm-hmm.
a customer? What policies, right? For healthcare, we have something called as GXP. So
Mm-hmm.
procedures different for GXP, right? For
Mm-hmm.
manufacturing, for banking, you will have a different set of requirements or policies and procedures.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to make sure that you are clear in that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're able to understand the prerequisite of the business from a vertical perspective,
Okay.
right? So if you ask me, we need to be we are expected to do a all in all active role, right? But if you dig deep and see that, there are exactly something that you need to beautifully segregate it depending on your contribution of what role that you need to play,
Okay.
right? First is understanding the stakeholders requirement illustration is all your responsibility.
Yeah.
However, ensuring that you are conveying the message to developers are proper, and the customers requirements are understood proper is also a responsibility. But on the both the side, right, the completing the work is not your responsibility, but you're accountable.
Yeah.
You need to have these individual activities broken down and clearly understood, which is your responsibility and which you are accountable. How do you need to act for those things?
Yes.
If you're able to clearly understand this, right,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go through this. That's what I'm saying. I want you to go through this, right?
Yeah.
As you can see the causes, right? So lack of awareness of magnitude and importance of change and its impact, right? So of course, as it said, business as usual will be run as it is, okay? Always all the change, even with service now, okay, it is interrupting the business as usual. So when you're going to interrupt it, okay, saying that you're going digital, you're going automation, you're doing that, this, okay, you do it properly or you get backfired.
Mm-hmm.
While something is going on as usual, okay, always, okay, always, I'm not saying it as a threatening part, but just making you to understand what is what, okay.
Yeah.
Of course, a new thing is coming means, right, there would be it would be the case, like, they are doing it in a different way, in a different particular area, right, particular way.
Yes.
You are actually introducing something or changing something, okay. That's why you have this project.
Mm-hmm.
So in such condition, you need to understand that, it was being done now also in some way or the other, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it is being asked to do in a different way so that it gives benefits of so and so,
Okay.
right, right. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why the project has come in. So
Yeah.
change from business as usual is what is the usual the cause of a project.
Yes.
I said that change could be whatever it is, new to look, procedure, modification, whatever it is, a functionality, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also of course, on competition reason also they'll have, right. So if other competitors are having enhanced version, why not we also have for the advancement of it, right? I mean, there could be different reason that you are having this change, being playing business analyst activity or role,
Mm-hmm.
right? If the stakeholders who are also working on with you, they are not aware of why this change is, you need to educate them. If you sense
Mm-hmm.
that, you need to educate them. You need to educate
Mm-hmm.
them of the vision of why this particular project is being done.
Okay.
Okay, I said that, right? Of course, certain stakeholders will obliterate, and they'll not accept. They will resist from not doing this particular change, moving to the change.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they say that, okay, if you do this automation, where will I go? Losing my job. If you do this
Mm-hmm.
particular digitalization, I really don't think it will really work. It is say you are saying something that is magic. It'll go like this,
Okay.
that, and all. Right? We were classically sending mails to the customers. Now you're saying that
Mm-hmm.
ServiceNow for itself send mail, is it? Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Yeah.
give some conditions, he'll go this, that, do this and all, is it?
Mm-hmm.
They'll not be able to accept it,
Okay.
right? So yes, how do you need to really kind of make them understand is also your talent.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, you need to post your benefits. So you're getting my point, right? As a
Yeah. Yeah.
developer within the system, you can do whatever. You can break your head for the system, it's not working, and go for solution, asking for solution, okay. But as a BA, it's not like that. It's more of an
Mm-hmm.
managing requirements, stakeholder discussion, and giving commitments and ensuring that you're sticking to the commitments is what BA's role. And I mean, as I said, like, you can't ignore a stakeholder for
Yeah.
that if he's not in the basket of what we have saw. You cannot ignore them. The similar way, you cannot ignore certain activity thinking that it's not in my activity. It's not given as BA, right? There are
Yeah.
projects which may have some silly activity. some
Mm-hmm.
silly activity, wouldn't get this document from them here and now. You need to coordinate as well.
Okay.
At times, before a change goes, we need to ensure that the change is going smoothly. We need to ensure that technical team will say that no, no, I've did all my technical, but I have nothing to do. It's we as a business analyst will go here and there and get the approval here and there and ensure that the change is being implemented on time.
Okay.
As I'm saying, lots of roles, lots of activities will come under be a role activity. But if you have completed one particular project, that too,
Mm-hmm.
not a small, at least kind of complex project, you are free to you are free to take up another project easily
Okay.
because you know the impediments that it took you have toiled on that particular role. So you should be able to understand it very high level, which should be
Yeah.
uh, achievable enough that you can move on.
Yeah.
So, right, solution for engaging stakeholders, right? So basically you will have a and what to say kickoff call where you will introduce yourself and you will speak about the various tools and
Mm-hmm.
picture of the initiative. But then you will also make sure that um, what is the organization vision and why you are doing it, and what is the output from a solution perspective. There's metrics and key performance indicators. So how it is being recorded, registered, or understood,
Mm-hmm.
and showing a POC, proof of concept, on how to do this, that, and all, right? So you're setting expectations and ensuring that you're agreeing on what are the roles and who owns it as an ownership perspective. Okay, who owns it on the
Mm-hmm.
ownership perspective, and then what are all the documents, what are all the information that you'll be passing it across to them. You will tell them, right? As I've already told you, right? The roles and responsibilities, what a stakeholder list, map, or personas.
Mm-hmm.
So we come down, right? So you will see all those things. What are the process modeling, what's mind mapping, will decomposition. So this is as recommended by IBA. Right? You can use all these things. You can
Mm-hmm.
use all these techniques, concepts, capabilities that are that will explain you or help you in how to handle the business analyst role.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Exactly. As they say, building relationship, right? If you come down. So, how do you build relationship, right, with the stakeholder becomes very important thing because honestly speaking, all BAs actually will act in calls, will become an actor in calls.
Okay.
Now, why do I say that is that, definitely you cannot, while the customer is I mean, I can't say like this, right? If he's angry, he's not convinced with your project or with the deliverables or with what's being delivered by the developer team, you cannot just blame that. Yeah, yeah, I'm also angry with the development team. Can we say like that?
Mhm. No. Yeah.
So we need to handle it. So we need to handle it coolly. So that's why we need to act as if that you are also in the same page.
Mm-hmm.
You're also in the same page. Yes, I also feel the heat as just like how you do.
Mm-hmm.
But for the matter of the issues that which we are facing currently, these are the issues that we are currently facing, and it takes time for us. You need to give us some more time. You need to ask them some more time, or
Okay.
you need to convince them, ensuring that why you really need some time. Why? What is actually the problem? Why can't it be done other way around? You need to say like, we have also tried this other thing that is also not working, unfortunately, and that's why we need more time.
Okay.
So logically, you need to make them understand it,
Yeah.
right? That's very much important.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, they are putting all these things, going out to lunch or coffee with them to get to know them personally. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I did a lot of times. You know what? You know what I will do? I should not say this, but I'll tell you since I'm just teaching this. Okay,
Yeah.
I will always start a call if it is if it is after weekend. I'll
Mm-hmm.
just ask as always, how is their weekend? What did they do?
Yeah.
I really have zero interest of the on their personal what they do. Okay,
Yeah.
I have honestly speaking zero interest of what they did and what they do and what is their interest in all these things. But I asked them,
Yeah.
you know why? Being Indian, we all know why. Right?
Okay.
Being Indian, we all know why do we convince? Why do we need to speak them? Right? We all know.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking that way, and also I'll close the call always saying that have a nice day.
Yeah.
If it is the weekend, have a nice weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the call was went so hot, right? The touch, right? The final
Mm-hmm.
touch in the call. Have a nice day, have a wonderful day. Will actually make them not anger again, at least for some time.
Yeah.
Right? We all knew it, right? We all knew it, right? We all knew it. How did we studied in our school days, college days? How people
Yeah.
make sure that they ensure their faculties are being managed and make sure that they get some additional marks, or
Mm-hmm.
they go on leave, bunk the school, and ensure that they're holding their class teachers, you know, not to
Yeah.
complain about them. Right? They do all these things.
Yeah.
They came across. So building relationships very very important with all the stakeholders. Of course, development team doesn't require to build any relationship with them because their job is not on discussing with the customer, but whereas yours, it's communication is the primary thing for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and what you need to do in illustration collaboration, right? So, so if you that's what. So the lack of stakeholder engagement will definitely hit back in various way. That they if they don't have a personal touch, personal connect, okay, they will not be interested to even give you any details,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the level of complex unless otherwise they give too much of details, will not be able to understand completely. That also is there, right? We cannot go out and get all the details and we be mastering something unless otherwise we really dig deep. And who's that to dig deep? The responsible point of contact should come out, speak out, and you facilitate them in speaking out.
Okay.
And some that's all. So you need to make them easy, right? You need to give space for them, room for them to talk up. So that's actually the way that you ensure that your activities are done, by ensuring that you are making them uh, properly connecting with them, basically in other words I can say.
Okay.
And always brainstorm, don't go often with your own ideas, always brainstorm saying that this is what I think, what is your thought process.
Yeah.
Make it a point, give them a decision, right? How do they think, what do they feel?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very important. Okay, so these are all nobody will honestly speaking with VA,
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody will speak out, nobody will discuss about these things,
Yes.
but it's definitely required that we discuss about all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave you two links, right? Just go through it, completely
Yeah.
go through it, line by line, go through it, and
Yeah.
make a clear understanding of how to. They themselves will say that how you can help. What are the help that some tips how you can engage with stakeholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
How
Mm-hmm.
the solution for engaging with stakeholders? What can you do, right? What are the lack of stakeholder engagement? What are the causes? What implications that will have?
Okay.
Right, all these things are given. So basically they are like trying to boost you the morale of preparing yourself, how flexible you should be in order to make sure that you are communicating with them, and it's like you are actually giving your full heart and soul in completing the project,
Mm-hmm.
rather than you yourself as a business analyst not feeling good about the project, definitely it will not be
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
right? And there are parties like vendors are there. Different vendors will be also accommodated, and there are different areas, external stakeholders. They will be rude. They don't even bother. They have put papers. They don't even want to work. Lots of these things may come.
Oh.
And yeah, I said you have to raise it. You have to identify and you have to raise it as a risk. You have to
Okay.
inform your project manager. They'll raise it as a risk.
Okay.
So if you're not going to touch the system, if you're just going to work on not touching the system, these are all the things that you also need to manage.
Yeah. What are these? Is this a book? We have these things?
Yeah, that's a Babok book. As I said, a
Okay.
Babok, a book of knowledge, business analyst book of knowledge. So in that Babok book, we have all these segments.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mm.
so that's on the stakeholder management, where you can you can you basically various stakeholders will be there, being from an internal team or from external, I mean, or from the customer team or from the vendor team. So um, you need to juggle the ball, right? You can juggle the balls at the same time without any interruption, and ensure that everybody are clear, getting a clarity as like never before, and then sticking on to the plan, giving their best,
Yeah.
and ensuring that the project is moving seamlessly without any interruptions, and there is always a reception for room for improvement,
Okay.
because you play that particular role. Of course, project manager manages it, but you play a role where you need to get and give it to somebody else, which means that you basically, business analyst is more of a coordination activity, but still you understand the functionality deeper than as deeper, so as to explain it to a layman of a customer who's a customer,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's on the stakeholder management, which either I'll share with you. We'll look into the requirements elicitation by tomorrow, if it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
along with other part also. As you see on this particular part, right, the blue colored one, successful engagement model.
Okay.
So when I say, yeah, when we are going to engage, we are, can you open that particular part itself in a separate yeah. So first you engage and you review, and if there are any inputs given by them, you adjust it, and you do stakeholder analysis, who are the stakeholders that are required, and map it, and plan the engagement and set the expectation to them.
Mm-hmm.
So usually this is usual model that they say, but we know how to handle them,
Yeah.
right? If we are these are like, what is it, process wise they are saying this can be done, this is a good practice, best practice that you can do it, right? But if we are knowing how to handle stakeholder, then it's up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Basically set the expect and identify the stakeholder, right? And how do we engage with them, and how do we set the expectation to them,
Mm-hmm.
what is required, and follow up, and frequently ensure that they are informed about what is it, and if required they also need to participate, uh, set up call with them, and then invite them.
Yeah.
So any doubts on things we did last time?
Last time it's nothing. I was trying the what is that admin side exercises from Servicenow. So
Mhm.
uh, I could not what is that get the content from GitHub. I could not get it like import the things from GitHub.
Oh, okay, okay. And welcome to Source now you're saying that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to do exercise, I could not import the things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. No, but whatever we are doing here, right, that is okay. You are what's welcome source now you're doing different, and you're doing different, right? Because we never went to that GitHub part and all because we are
Yeah, yeah,
we're actually understanding the foundations part and admin
yeah,
area.
yeah.
So
That's it.
so as long as we are able to understand these things, yes, we can go there. You can always do that. I'm not restricting anything, but with foundations area, if you're also very much clear, then it's very good.
Yeah, I have just gone through the content thing. Uh, can you just add what is client side and server side scripting and the API thing? Just a class of developer side also.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to add it because that
Yeah.
is. Hmm. But scripting, I can only tell you, but I cannot. Yeah, because basically we can know what is what. Okay, but
Yeah.
client execution. But honestly, scripting, I don't actually go ahead with the scripting part because,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you said, foundations admin and then be a part is enough,
Okay.
right? But we can high level we can understand it.
Yeah.
Can understand high level itself. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's on that, and then we can yeah. So we can. I think. Mm, I think you have for now you. I feel like you're so somehow clear on things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So like I can say like foundations, your a good amount of clarity that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
We can also go the data management, something like data management for tomorrow, understanding
Yeah.
what is what as part of data management. So and we'll see. We saw schema map, we saw data dictionary, right? So we core table. Mm, did we archive? We did not archive data, right?
No.
Okay, we'll archive data tomorrow and see. And we also see how we can export data. Export data, I did not tell you, right? Or did I?
No. I did not.
Okay. And also table and column module we can see, and deleting a table and its records we'll see. And sys I told you sys right? What is sys
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see other things
Lot
which
of
we.
yeah. Lot of modules are there.
Oh yeah. Welcome, 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 welcome. Imagine that it's all comprising of all that chemistry, science, social, physics,
Yeah.
maths, botany, what else? And
Yeah.
ending up with the value when ending up with the value education exams
Mm-hmm.
or even the physical education, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all inclusively, we need to only focus on this. Come on, in school days we have did much more. Come on, there's a matter of putting ourselves here. Honestly speaking, as we grow old, right, we tend to not actually show interest. But if we definitely gave interest ourselves, that's it. There is no point in coming out.
Yeah.
So give all your full and efforts to this particular part, right? And you'll be
Mm.
able to understand it and show more interest of this.
Yeah. I'll just go through
Okay.
these documents for today.
Yeah. Go through these documents and the link that I've told you on the business analysis, right? So yeah, so it's more of an you know someone who's able to manage with the stakeholders and get the requirements and is able to understand it more and more will be able to easily clear out, right? Clear out
Okay.
on what is required from the customer and is able to manage, basically manage it. Manage is what's the right word I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Business analysis analyst is more of an managing, um, who needs more of management skill as opposed to technical lead or developers who needs technical skills or
Okay.
development skills. That's the
Okay.
difference.
Mhm. At last, when we are almost finishing our training, can you just,
Mhm.
you know, what is that? Just show me how the documents, what you have done, like how it will be the process.
Yeah, yeah, I
Just
will,
I
I
want to
will.
see the real time stuff. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I will show you, but close to my what pro. See, I'm not going to, show
Nothing. Just
you the.
yeah,
Yeah, but I'll show you exactly what has really happened and where how it will all go. What is the flow
yeah.
where I
That's it.
have started, what all things that has
Yeah.
come
What
in.
what requirement they got to you and how did you get it done? That's it. I just want
What
to
has
know.
it? Yeah, definitely.
That's it. Yeah.
That should it's not be an issue. We can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Think we'll meet up by tomorrow. And I know by now you're able to understand both the areas, right? Foundations,
Mm.
beat, even from the
Yeah.
business analysis. So, if you're very serious about business analyst, you can take up the ECBA followed by CBAP. And if you wanted ECBA means, then you need to show. See, in ECBA, if you're going to go, you need to show like you have experience. You need to show that experience letter from your manager or anything like that. Okay. But rather, I would say
And
like
the certification.
yes, for the certification, yes, we need to do that.
Okay.
But rather, I would say like get into this particular job saying that
Yeah.
I know what it is of all these things, and I know I'm clear about it, and I can ensure that you know uh, yeah I can ensure that I can deliver as a BA.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty much all about it. Okay, we'll come back and we'll connect by tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
see you, Priyanka. Yeah, see you then.
Yeah. See
Hmm?
you. Bye.